Alright, what's up guys? I'm back with another video. I just wanted to speak on the Black Friday specials a little bit. I know so many people are talking about it. The forum is flooded with questions concerning the Black Friday sales, and I just wanted to go over the 2015 and 2016 sales and kind of give my own prediction as to what's going to come for this year's Black Friday sales that we should be getting information on this week. Of course, as time goes on, new materials are implemented into the game, so the specials this year are definitely going to be different than the specials from last year. Good examples of that would be the uniform upgrades, the uniform kits, the X-Men materials, the Mcron crystals, the Mcron shards and feathers, etc. And then there's the new celestial gears, which we also didn't have last year. So of course, some of the offers are going to be a lot different. Now, of course, as well as time goes on, things do become less valuable. For example, in 2015, we had biometric sales and the price slowly dropped for that. Even the regular price in the store now is cheaper than they were on the 2015 Black Friday specials. However, you know, since it is a Black Friday special, I do expect a lot to be on sale, that to be one of them. So I'm going to go over it more in depth throughout this video. However, I just wanted to state that, you know, there are going to be some differences, of course, as new materials are in the game and as materials get less of a value, because biometrics, we all know, are much easier to come by now, and I'm just using that as the example that I used earlier, but biometrics are so much easier to come by now than they were when the game was first released, so of course they're going to be cheaper. But I'm going to get on that a little later on, and let's get right into the 2015 specials. So the first special that we had in 2015, of course, was a uniform sale. Now, one of the things about 2015 that is going to be different this year and that was different last year was the fact that that was just about 6 months after the game was released. So there were not that many uniforms in the game. Therefore, not every single uniform was actually on special. However, as you can see from the image here, there was quite a few of them. That is the majority of them at the time. More so the newer ones at the time, so those were the ones that went on special for 750 crystals. Next up, of course, we had a crystal sale. Now, this was the same last year as well, and I do expect it to be the same this year as well, because it is a pretty good deal. Instead of when you buy crystals, it being 550 crystals for $10, it will be 1,650 crystals for $10. Now, we all know that the 1+1 sale is pretty much always there, so it's not really like you're getting 1+1+1 crystals. They do label it as that, but it's more so that you're getting 1 plus 0.5 crystals, or 1.5% of the crystals that you would normally get. However, if you do pay for crystals, now is the best time, or when the Black Friday sales are here is the best time to stock up on them. It's the cheapest time to actually buy crystals, so if you do plan to, now's your best chance to. Lastly, in 2015, we also had the Black Friday special offers, which were biometric packages and rank up tickets. Now, do keep in mind that at this point of the game, rank up tickets were fairly new. There was no mega rank ups, there was no tier 2 tickets. Tier 2 did not exist in the game. So the prices here, of course, are going to be a lot different than they are now as the value has gone down. But if you see, or if you look at this image here, you can see that it's pretty much the standard packs that we have now. Say the first one is 200 combat bios with some Norn stones, some gold, some gear up kits, and etc. for 1,450 crystals. That's pretty much a standard price, and you do get a Black Friday token, but I will touch on that a little later on. However, that's pretty much a standard price now. So that wouldn't be a good offer now. Of course, in 2016, the price was even cheaper than that, and I do expect the price to get even cheaper this year. We also have specific type bio characters, such as 180 Iron Fist bios, or Malekith, or Angela, whoever it may be. Now, those were a little cheaper than the selectors. However, you did get some different materials, such as level 5 XP chips, which were very valuable at the time. Do keep in mind, I do not expect any biometric packages for single characters, or specific characters, I should say, to be on sale this year. It wouldn't make any sense. We have almost 150 characters in the game, so for them to single out just one character, you know, it doesn't really make much sense. Now, in 2015, we also had a token event. Now, this was nothing really special. If you were to buy one package, say the biometric package, for 1,450 crystals, you'd get one token, and you'd be able to exchange that for 150 crystals. So you'd basically be paying 1,300 crystals instead of 1,450. Now, for the people that spent more and bought multiple packages, they could trade in 5 tokens for 800 crystals. Is it worth it? I don't really think so. You needed 20 of them for a mega rank up ticket. Now, the most you can get for a package was 2 tokens. That means you'd have to buy 10 of those packages, and there was a limit on these packages, so you couldn't just flat out buy 10 of them in a row. But the cheapest one is 1,950 crystals. So that's almost spending 20,000 crystals just for a 6-star mega rank up ticket. Is it worth it? Not anymore. At the time, I don't think it was really worth it, but for the high spenders that were gonna spend anyways, at least, you know, they got to look at it as they got something for free. I do want to mention that at the time, a lot of these packages and a lot of these materials that could be bought were fairly new. So people were really going crazy for them. At the time, the big main character was Loki, of course. So everyone was going for those universal selectors. However, Netmarble put a limit on them. So as you can see from the table, there was 6,000 or 10,000 available for specific packages. Now, given that they were so new, these deals, they sold out within seconds. You'd go into the shop, you'd see it. If you didn't buy it and you left the shop and went back 2 seconds later, it would literally be gone. I remember I would, you know, pretty much hoard the shop just waiting for the packages to pop up so I can buy them right away. Now, that's a little different now. I do believe that there is still going to be a limit on it. However, you know, people aren't really so intrigued to these packages here because, like I said, the value went a lot down, but I will speak more on that later on. So let's move right on to the 2016 sales here. Of course, there was a lot more as there was more materials in the game, but we're gonna go through them one by one. First up, of course, once again, there was a uniform sale. The only difference between 2015 and 2016 was that all the uniforms were on sale. And as you can see from the image, there was much more uniforms in the game. You know, that's pretty standard. I don't really have to say anything more about that. Next up, like I mentioned earlier, there was another 1+1 crystal sale, or 150% of the crystals that you'd normally get. Now, I do expect that to be, again, this year, the exact same deal. It is a great deal. Like I said, if you plan to buy crystals in the near future, now is your chance when these sales are going on to really stock up. But next in line, we have the selector packages. Now, the differences between 2015 and 2016 is that they're 250 crystals cheaper. Now, there was a limit on these packages as well. You could buy 2 per day. I don't think anyone really bought all 8 of them that you could per day because it's kind of a waste. However, like I said, over time things get cheaper. As you can see, this used to be almost 1,500 crystals. Now it was only 1,200. So I do expect these sales to be around again this year. However, I do expect them to be even cheaper once again. Then we had some tiered item sales. So at the time of the first year, Black Friday sales, tiered sales weren't really a thing, but they were implemented after that. And there's also some new materials here, such as the Chaotic Nornstones and the Black Antimatter. Also, 6-star mega rank up tickets were much more common than they were in 2015. Nevertheless, pretty standard deal here. You pay the 2,600 crystals or 2,400 crystals, you know, the prices vary. You'd get the 6-star mega rank up, and then you'd get, you know, like the 5 items. I believe one's XP chips, one's a 30 selector, one's a 6-star mega mastery ticket, and etc. You get that stuff after the sale ended. Pretty standard here, except it was a bit cheaper than the in-store price at the time. So if any of you guys are looking to get, you know, rank up tickets, this is pretty much the way to get them. The deal is pretty fair, and I do expect it to be even cheaper this year. Then we had a special package here. It was a new package implemented into the game with a tier 2 mega rank up ticket as the ultimate prize from this. Or I can't really say prize, it was more of as the ultimate purchase from this. But you get 3 million gold, you get a mega rank up ticket, you get a mega advancement tier 2 ticket. You know, pretty good deal, I'd say, for the time. As they listed as 14,000 crystals, it was down to 8,000. So that was pretty good. However, if you do kind of look into this package, it's pretty much to mega rank up a character right away, and then you can mega tier 2 them without having bios for their gears or anything like that. Now, you know, looking at the prices of things now, 8,200 crystals is a bit steep for that package, in my opinion, just a tier 2 1 character. Also, 8,200 crystals is pretty much around, I'd say $60 to $70 now. So, you know, 70 bucks for one character, is it worth it? I don't think so. I do expect there to be a tier 2 mega ticket in the shop come Black Friday. However, I do expect it to be a little bit cheaper than this. Maybe they'll throw in more materials so that the price stays the same, but you know, you still get a better bang for your buck. I don't know. Let's move on to the next one. Next up, we had some limited quantity sales once again. You know, last year in 2016 compared to 2015, they were all sold out within seconds. Last year, it went a little bit slower. Now, there are some newer materials here, such as Awakened ISOs and comic cards in these packages. These deals aren't really anything special now. I do expect us to have something similar. I do expect there to be limited quantity on them. However, I do expect there to be more in the pack, as these materials here have kind of went down in value. As you can see, 1200 crystals for 2 6-star cards. That's not a bad deal on a regular day. But for a Black Friday special, I do think that that is a little bit steep. We can pretty much make a 6-star card every day if you devote all your energy, or I wouldn't say every day because you do get a lot of resources from Shadowland, but you can make at least a good 3 or 4 6-star cards every week. So spending 100 or 1,200 crystals just for 2 cards. The rest of the materials aren't really much. Clear tickets, nothing special. 500,000 gold, really easy to come by. So, you know, I do expect there to be packages like these with special obelisk gears and comic cards, maybe even an Awakened ISO one. However, I do expect the deal to be better. I do expect you to get more for your dollar, or for the crystal price to be even cheaper. And last up, we had a gold sale. Now, I don't think, or I hope nobody actually bought this. It's really, really stupid if you buy this. I mean, even if you look at the first one, 50 crystals for, you know, 60,000 gold. I don't know who would buy this. It's crazy in my mind that they'd even put this on special. The regular prices are crazy expensive. 50 crystals maybe for 1,000,000 gold, or maybe even 500,000 gold might be more worth it. But on a regular day for 20,000 gold for 50 crystals, I mean, come on, who would pay that? If you look at the last package there for 3,200 crystals, that's pretty much the second pack in the shop on a regular day, which is $33 in my currency, which is Canadian currency. But $33 for 6 million gold, when you can easily farm that in a day, you'd have to be really impatient in order to buy this pack to work on your characters. And of course, like usual, there was the token event like they had in 2015. Now this time it was a little bit different, as you did get more crystals for everything you purchased. Sorry, I said crystals there, I meant tokens. However, you know, not everything had tokens on it. So the selector packages, you didn't get any tokens with. The tiered sale, you would get tokens. You'd get between 8 and 11. And then they had the limited quantity sales, which you'd get between, you know, 5 and 6. And of course, if you bought the tier 2 mega advancement pack, you would get 30 tokens. Now, if you look at the table, you need 200 tokens to get a tier 2 mega advancement ticket. Yes, a tier 2 mega ticket is probably the most expensive thing in the game right now, but 200 tokens is completely ridiculous. Like, you'd have to buy, say, the limited quantity sales, you'd have to buy 40 of them in order to be able to afford that, or you'd have to be able to buy 6 of the tier 2 mega packs, which are 8,200 crystals each, in order to almost be able to buy that. It's kind of a ripoff in my eyes. I wish they would put the token price lower, you know. I don't know. I don't know what to expect for a token event this year, but I will kind of give my opinion on it in just a minute. Alright, so now that I spoke about all the sales that we had last year, I spoke about all the sales that we had in 2015, I just want to kind of theorize and pretty much guess what we're going to get this year. So first up, I do expect us to have a biometric package once again like we had in 2015 and 2016. Now the price went down 250 crystals each year. This year, you know, from 1,200 crystals, I expect them to be on sale for about 1,000 crystals. Those packages are still in the shop right now. You can buy them at any time now. They're not an exclusive thing, but I do expect them to put them on sale anyways. Is this really worth it? 200 biometrics and a couple side materials for 1,000 crystals? I wouldn't say so. I would personally not buy that. You can easily get 225 bios from Shadowland every single week, plus you get 8 bios for logging in every day, and there's a lot more ways to get biometrics now. So personally, if that were to be a deal, and I do think it will be, I would not buy this. I do also expect there to be another gold deal. Now, I don't know if it's going to be any different from last year. I don't think it's going to be. The only way I can see it being actually purchasable, in my opinion, is if it were to be, say, 1 plus 10, or not even 1 plus 10. 1 plus 10 is really not a lot. I don't know, 1 plus 50, 1 plus 100. I don't know, man, it's just gold. Who would spend crystals on gold? I don't know, but I do expect them to do another sale on this again. Tiered sales are pretty much a common thing in the shop these days. We see them every single week pretty much, so I do expect there to be a Black Friday sale on tiered items. Now, items that I think will be there will be a Black Order material one. I do expect a 6-star Mega Rank Up one, and I do expect a Tier 2 ticket one. Now, last year in 2016, the Mega Rank Up ticket package cost 2,600 crystals. I see it costing more around 2,200 crystals, and then of course you get the extra 5 slots of rewards with it. 6-star mastery tickets, some biometrics, some gold, and some XP chips. Is that worth the buy? In my opinion, it is in some instances. If you're going to use it on a non-farmable character or say a paywalled character, I do think that 2,200 crystals is pretty reasonable to rank them up right away and instantly, plus you get the extra bonuses with it. So, you know, for 2,200 crystals, if that's actually going to be around the proper price, I do think that maybe purchasing 1, maybe 2, depending on how much you spend, would be worth it. Now, I'm not advising you guys to spend your money on this. Every character can pretty much be farmed aside from the paywall characters. So, and you know, not every character is needed to complete everything in the game, of course, if it's a character that you love, but if you are going to buy a paywall character anyways, it does mean that you spend on the game for the biometrics subscription. So buying this package, in my opinion, would be worth it. Next up, I do expect more limited quantity sales like I said earlier. However, I do expect the price to be a bit cheaper than last year's and much cheaper than 2015. Now, I do expect many different kinds of packages compared to what we had last year and the year before. I expect packages such as uniform upgrade kits in one of them. I do expect the Awakened ISO, the comic cards, and the obelisk gears to be back once again for a cheaper price. However, I do also expect there to be a celestial pack. If it's not in a limited quantity sale, then it will be in a tiered sale. I just think, you know, being a new material that's really hard to get, Netmarble's going to want to push it. So instead of it being RNG based, getting it in a obelisk package or a custom gear package, Netmarble will make it not so RNG based. However, they will want to profit off of it, so it will be a limited quantity sale for a set amount of crystals. Now, you will of course get other things like gold and probably tokens, because I do expect another token event with it. However, you know, I can't really guess what the price is going to be. If I were to take a guess, I'd guess somewhere between 1,500 and maybe, no, I can't go as high as 2,000. 2,000 is a little too high in my opinion. I don't know who would buy it, you know, but knowing Netmarble, they might put it up there at around 1.8 thousand crystals. But yeah, I do expect them to be a package. Now, as for the comic card packages, I expect something around 2 6-star cards plus some gold and tokens and etc. for around 1,000 crystals. As for the 6-star custom gear package, I expect something along the lines of, you know, maybe 5 6-star obelisk gears for around 1,200 crystals, maybe 1,500 crystals with the other rewards on the side. As for Awakened ISO, pretty much the same as the obelisk gear, you know, maybe 4 or 5 of them for close to 1,500 crystals. That would be relatively a fair price in my opinion. Now, judging by Netmarble, I don't know what they're going to do this year. They might try to milk people. They might actually be nice for once and not overprice everything. However, we're just going to have to wait and see what comes. Of course, I do also expect a uniform sale on every single uniform in the game. Now, of course, that includes the Captain Marvel uniform that was exclusive to the comic book covers that we used to have. However, I do expect a uniform sale. If they're going to do it at 750 crystals or maybe a bit cheaper, I don't know. I'm hoping that they do it a bit cheaper, maybe something like 600 crystals per uniform. That would make a bit more sense in my opinion, as we do get uniform sales here and there already. It's kind of a regular thing every month. So I do expect something a little bit cheaper. I'm hoping that they give something a little bit cheaper because I know there's a lot of you that actually want to buy uniforms, and myself, I do want to buy some uniforms as well. So I'm hoping for a uniform sale. I know we're going to get one. Is the price going to be 750 crystals like the standard sale price is, or is it going to be cheaper? I just don't know yet. So next, I just wanted to speak on packages a little bit. There's a lot of people speaking about the Magneto Pack, wondering if it's going to be discounted or not. Me personally, I do not think that it's going to be at a discounted price. I don't think it would be really fair for the people that paid so much for him previously, you know, to put the package on a discount for everybody else. That's like saying the biometric subscription would now drop in price. I do not think that's going to happen anytime soon. However, crystals are going to be on sale once again. You can pretty much guarantee that for a 1+1+1 sale. So if you are looking into getting Magneto, now would be the time to buy the crystals to unlock him and to buy that package. And then from there, we have other packages like the anniversary packages. Now these, I don't think that it's really going to change. I don't think that they're going to be at a discounted price. The majority of the sales that we get are buying stuff for crystals, with the purchase of crystals aside, of course. But all the sales that they've been giving us are things like spend 1,500 crystals or 2,500 crystals for these materials. So I do think it's going to be similar to that once again this year. You're going to have to buy all these things with crystals, not with actual money. So the packages that cost money, I do not think that they're going to be discounted. Solely the crystal package will be discounted so that you can buy crystals in order to buy these packages. Will we get something like the tier 2 mega package again? I do think so. I think there will be a tier 2 mega package. I do think there's going to be a tier 2 ticket package as well. I do think it's going to be cheaper than last year, of course, as these are not as valuable as they used to be. However, you know, I do expect the tier 2 mega package to still be expensive. Maybe something like 7,000 crystals or 6,000 crystals for the tier 2 mega ticket, with some gold, some tokens, some awakened ISOs. If there is a 6-star mega rank up ticket in there, maybe it will be a bit more expensive. However, I do expect us to get more with it and to get more for our money than we did last year, of course, as you know, a lot of these materials have really dropped in value, especially since the introduction of Shadowland, since the changes that were made to the 30-day login where we get a free tier 2 ticket. So I can't really say exactly what we're going to get, of course, because I don't know any information from Netmarble. However, we can expect the prices to be cheaper than last year, like I've said many times in this video. And we can expect Netmarble to try to push as much as they can, to sell as much as they can, because now is a really good time for them to make a lot of money. So I do expect there to be a tier 2 mega package once again. I did mention that there is going to be a crystal sale once again. We can all pretty much guarantee that. However, I do expect another token event. Now, the thing about token events is in 2015, it was kind of a shitty deal. In 2016, it was kind of a shitty deal, and you had to spend so much just to get these rewards. The difference between 2015 and 2016, in 2015, you would get crystals back for your tokens. In 2016, you would get materials like awakened ISOs and biometric selectors. Now, the thing is about Netmarble, they used to do events where you would get crystals back in the day in 2015. And even at the start of 2016. For example, they had a Thanksgiving event around the Black Friday sales around the same time, where they changed the daily challenges for you to get crystals for every daily challenge. And they would also give out gifts from the admins, which is what they would label them, that were crystals. They would also have events on the Mobirum forum, the official forum for the game, where you would get crystal rewards. Does any of this exist anymore? No, it does not. Netmarble does not give out premium currency anymore. It is a shame for all the people that are free to play, because it was a good way for them to acquire some crystals. However, of course, there are still in-game ways such as timeline battle and finishing all your daily and weekly quests in order to get some crystals, now a very small amount. So I don't expect the tokens this year to be able to give you crystals back by cashing them in. So it doesn't really drop the price of your packages like it previously would. You more so just get more resources for your money, but you still have to spend the same amount of crystals. Once again, this year, I do expect it to be a complete ripoff. I don't expect anyone to really spend so much just to get the tokens, to get the resources from the tokens. I do not think it would be worth it to think of it that way. If you plan to buy some packages, you know, and you get the tokens anyways, you might as well use them. However, I don't think it's going to be worth it as to be something to really focus on. It's just how Netmarble is now. They're not the same as they used to be. But yeah, so don't really keep your eyes open for a token event that much. It's not going to be anything too special, in my opinion. Like I said, in my opinion, because I can be wrong, and you know, they can be feeling generous or whatever it may be. I just may be wrong. With that being said, guys, you know, I went over the specials from 2015 and 2016. I gave you guys my insight on what I think we're going to get this year. Pretty much, if I were to summarize it, it would be the same thing as last year, except we'd add in all the new resources that we've since gotten in updates, such as X-Men materials and uniform upgrade kits, celestial gears, etc. Those can be added into the mix. The prices will have dropped a little bit, of course, for the older materials such as biometrics, comic cards, rank ups, and etc. Of course, as things get cheaper over time. But of course, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Adios.